All right, everybody, welcome to Casual Sports Talk Podcast, NFC North and West Edition previews. And now we got the gentleman right over here who doesn't have his recording on, but is trying to still to defend the North. Here's Douglas.
King of the North.
King of the
Gotta
North.
love the King of the North. King of the North.
King of the North right here. And now we got a man right over here, Fyodor, who wishes that the 49ers would go under. Here's Fyodor.
Wait, do you say I wish the 49ers would go under? Why? I want the 49ers to stay on top. They're a good team.
I don't know.
You're not a 49er hater?
What?
No, I don't hate on the 49ers. I actually root for them.
Oh,
Man,
my
that was
goodness.
misleading, Stu. I'm confused.
Yeah,
All right,
Stu, it's completely opposite.
But anyway, we're going to start doing our ranking system for the preseason for the NFC North and NFC West right over here. So we have our rankings from 1 to 10. 1, their season's pretty much over. 2, bad teams, but have a 5% chance of making the playoffs. 3, mostly beating up on bad teams. Cardinals last season. A 4 is a mid-team, and 5 is in football hell and worst division. And then next we got right over here, we got the 6, which is making the playoffs. 7 is winning the playoff games. 8 is making the NFC AFC championship. 9 is the Super Bowls, and 10 is guaranteed a Lombardi, which I don't think this season we'll probably have that. But who knows?
We have one right here in these divisions, Stu. What are you talking?
I'm just saying. So we decided we're going to start off with the first team right over here. We're going to make it super easy. We're going to talk about the Chicago Bears, who's been
super easy. Okay, Stu. Nice.
Yes, it's super easy. I meant super difficult because this is like the biggest question mark of all the NFL teams right now.
Is this the opposite episode, Stu?
Yeah, we're having opposite day today.
Yeah, right.
We're having opposite day today. So we got the Chicago Bears, who last season they were just kind of like mid to kind of bad. I mean, basically, Justin Fields was kind of like mid to not really the best. Granted, I don't think they gave him a lot of good weapons or anything to help Justin Fields. But like I said, and unfortunately, Justin Fields went to the promised land of Yinzers and Steelers. So unfortunately, move over Justin Fields. It is now Caleb Williams.
Number 1 pick overall.
Number 1 pick overall. Thank you, Panthers, for making us get the memes. Thank you, Carolina Panthers. But I will say this is going to be an interesting thing for Caleb Williams. I feel like for him, for number 1 overall picks, usually I feel like they get stuck in kind of a dumpster fire or a tire fire of an organization. Panthers, Chase Young in last year with the Panthers. Absolutely dumpster fire. Not Chase Young. I'm sorry. Bryce Young?
Oh, Bryce.
Bryce Young, I'm sorry.
Hey, Chase Young is doing pretty well. He's doing all right. Yeah.
He's doing all right. I mean, I will say that. He's doing okay. He's not been the world beater that he was in college, but I digress. But for like Bryce Young is a perfect example. Getting the number 1 overall pick, you get sent to a dumpster fire, and you're expected to do greatness, and then you basically flop. So, but Caleb Williams is in a better spot right now because they got these draft picks right over here. The Bears are looking a lot better, but we're having a big question mark, which is what are we going to put the Bears? I feel like these are the 2 teams that I really don't know. Are they going to be good? Is the Bears? And then once we get to next week, we're going to talk about the Jets. There's still a question mark, in my opinion, on how they're going to be. So,
Why are you correlating the Bears with the Jets, though?
because we don't know what there's going to be because Aaron Rodgers is out the whole season. We don't know how the Jets are going to be with Aaron Rodgers since he was only played 4 snaps and he's out for the season.
Okay, all right.
So they're both kind of in this like limbo of I have no idea, to be honest with you. Like I don't know if they're going to be good. I don't know if they're going to be bad. But I should think that there should be an improvement. Wouldn't you agree?
Well, the Bears were 7-10 last year. I mean, that's not terrible, but they finished in last place. Obviously, in that division, you have to. The Lions won the division being 12-5, but 12-5, an awesome record to have. So yeah, 7-10, it's not terrible.
Yes, and we talked about the the regular season. The Bears got to play against the Titans at home, then the Texans. That's gonna be a tough game. Colts, Rams, Panthers. That's a guaranteed win. Jaguars, Commanders, Cardinals, Patriots. That's a guaranteed win. Packers, Vikings, Lions, 49ers. Oh, that's a tough one. That's going to be a tough one right over there. Like, you got to break, and then you got to play against the 49ers, then Vikings, Lions, Seahawks, Packers. They're going to end it with the Packers. So, where am I going to put the Bears? I have no idea. Last season, we gave them 3 at the end of the season.
Oh, did we? Nice.
Yes, I did give them 3. I think they're going to be an improvement, but I'm thinking 2 numbers. I'm paneling it out. Left and right. Let's pick it. I'm feeling a 4. I think they're going to be a 4. I think there will at least be a decent.
What's the description of a 4? What is that?
I think they'll be mid. I don't think they'll be terrible, but I don't think they'll be in that football. They'll barely make the playoffs. They will be.
And what's a 5?
5 is they would miss the playoffs. They're that buffer team that doesn't make the playoffs.
Okay, gotcha.
So next up, I guess we'll have Douglas. What is your thoughts about your rival, the Chicago?
Wait. Sorry to interrupt. Didn't we do a record, like what we thought the record was going to be?
Oh, yeah. I forgot about the record.
Nice.
I totally forgot about the record. Thank you for reminding me, Theodore.
Oh, it's all right. Yeah. That's what we're here for.
I have it all on my phone, recording all the records. I'm going to go 8-9. I think they're going to be 8-9.
So an 8-9 team being a 4? Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay,
I think they're going to be in that. They're in that mid right over there. So Douglas, what is your thoughts on the Chicago Bears?
Oh, that's a great question, Steve.
Like I said,
well, I mean, here I'll give you several thoughts because I think they're better than I don't know. I honestly think that they're a playoff team.
Ooh.
Like I think they've upgraded their roster by that much. Like a 4, it's feeling low to me. Like I think when you look at their offensive playmakers, like as a whole, like it's a very scary looking team. Like I think
don't they have DeAndre Swift as a running back, right? And they have DJ Moore.
Swift, DJ Moore, exactly. Like DJ Moore was amazing last year with like a primary running quarterback, and then they added Keenan Allen, right? Did they add Keenan Allen? So they have Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, and then they drafted that rookie, I think, too. So like then they have Cole Kmet, DeAndre Swift. I think they added some defensive pieces too.
Yes.
So they're just a team that I'm sitting there pretty scared of. Like I think I'm gonna go with a 6 and a 10 and 7.
Oh, you think they're gonna make the postseason? Wow.
Oh, all right. Nice.
That's a surprise right there.
Oh,
and then Douglas,
nice.
What do you think their record's gonna be right now?
I just said this. It's a 10 and 7, 6 playoffs.
10 and 7 right now. All right.
You said 10 and 7. Wow. All right, Doug. Nice.
Now we got an interesting part. So actually, this is the wrong person because Douglas should be the one that's getting the 6 right there. And Theodore, you're the final one to pick. What are you feeling? Are you thinking that they're going to be more mid, or are you going to agree with Douglas and they're going to make the postseason?
So they picked up Rome Odunze. Was he from Washington, right, for wide receiver?
Yeah. Yes.
That's the guy. Yeah, I know we couldn't figure his name when we talked about it real quickly there. So Doug's going 6. Yeah, I mean they're playoff contenders, but are they going to make the playoffs? Oh man, in a division like the NFC North,
and it's tough. That's a tough division.
I think the Bears will finish probably second in that division, but I'm going to put them at a 5.
Oh, so that's interesting. So this is our first one.
What was your record for the Bears here? What'd you say?
Oh, I said 8-9.
And what Doug say?
10 and 7. And what's your record?
Oh, yeah, I would say You said 8 and 9. I'm gonna say 8 and 9 as well, but I'm putting at a 5. Because Stuart, what's a 5?
They are in the football hell. Basically, they're not good enough to make the playoffs, but they're not bad enough to get a good draft pick.
Oh, gotcha.
I don't know, boys. This will be an interesting one. 'Cause I look at this team and I see so much talent. Like,
Yeah, I agree with you there, Doug. But I think it might be moving too quick for them. They might not pick up on the first year. But hey,
yeah, I feel
this
like
is
this
gonna be a fun team to watch for sure.
Yeah,
well, I think the other part that we aren't considering either is how big of a turnaround they had last year too. It's like their coach was freaking amazing. They started off horrendous, like wow, this team's gonna go down in history, and then they just went on a heater. Like man, like a team that ends with momentum and they add a ton of pieces. It's kind of like that team that makes an unexpected jump, like pretty much verbatim to me.
Yeah, like I said, the Bears are going to be an interesting one. We don't know how they're going to be in the post. And I guess the question is Caleb Williams going to be good or is he going to be mediocre? I think it rests around, can Caleb Williams do well? He has the pieces. Can they go far?
Sir, can I make the transition? So we're going from Caleb Williams, rookie quarterback, to the next team we're talking about, who has a rookie quarterback as well, in J.J. McCarthy.
No, you're actually wrong. Sam Darnold.
Oh, we're not talking about the Vikings?
Yeah, we're talking about the Vikings. Sam Darnold's the starter, basically.
Wait, who's the starter?
Sam Darnold. But anyway.
Well, they're in a QB competition.
But I guess we'll start with the Minnesota Vikings, who kind of basically had a mediocre to bad season. It's kind of been like a mediocre mid-season. Like we gave the Vikings by the end of the season a 3. We just kind of did not feel like very much good on the Vikings. Kirk Cousins got hurt. Then Joshua Dobbs there for a little bit, and then he's gone, and then he went to another team. Yeah, it's kind of been like a roller coaster of emotions for the Vikings. And honestly, it's going to be tough for the Vikings because, like I said, they got a tough NFC North right now. Packers look good. Lions look good. Bears are upgrading down. I feel the Vikings have pretty much gone a little bit down. And also, I don't feel confident with Sam Darnold as a QB, who's been a journeyman, basically. Used to be a Jet.
So I'll give you all my entire thought right here. Do you know what number J.J. McCarthy is?
Yes. No.
What, number 9. Give me a 9.
You're not giving the Vikings a 9. Man, no.
JJ the GOAT, man. JJ the GOAT.
JJ ain't Tom Brady. He ain't Tom Brady.
Michigan quarterback. Dude, you know what I see? I see the Vikings replacing a Michigan State quarterback with a Michigan quarterback, which always goes well. Give him the Super Bowl right now, JJ McCarthy.
Oh, my God. Anyway, Chris, okay, we got to get some seriousness in this one. Chris, what is your thoughts on the Vikings this season?
The Vikings have arguably the best wide receiver or top 3 with Justin Jefferson. They got Aaron Jones from the Packers, who was a pretty good running back for sure. Honestly, I think J.J. McCarthy is going to be the starter by the end of the season or for the second half of the season for him. You said we made him a 3 at the end of last season. Are they going to be playoff contenders? Oh man,
come on!
I would give him a 5, just like the
the
Bears.
Wow, you think they're going to be a much more better team? Oh my God, I cannot.
And then record wise, I said the Bears were going to be 8 and 9, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably give the Vikings an 8 and 9 as well record for the season.
Wow, you think they're going to be a lot? I am. My God.
My God.
You might think that I might be a hater, but we'll see. So.
All right, I want to see where you guys. Yeah, Stuart, you have a strong reaction to that. I can't wait to see where you're.
You put out your number. Yeah.
Let's put Doug. You know what? We'll get to. I'll be the final one, and I'll see it. So, Doug, what's your thoughts about the? You thought JJ is going to be great. JJ is going to be the starter.
I mean, I was texting Cal about JJ today, ironically, and telling him that, man, dude, JJ's going to be a stud, but I'll just pump my brakes. Not this year, though, for JJ. I think they're a 4. Give me like a 6 and 11.
Oh,
Ooh,
think
all
it's
right,
6?
going low. I think you're going in the direction of Stu because I think Stu
Well, I mean,
was
like
offended when
Stu
I
said,
said
they
5 is a high.
like they're the worst team in their division. Like I think pretty clearly they're the worst team in the NFC North. So I mean, it's like those are 6 questionable games right there to begin with. I think the NFC North crosses with a couple of tough divisions. I'm pretty sure too. Like I just don't see the Vikings. I don't know. I mean, they have a nice receiving core, but that's all I'm really excited about this year for them.
Mm-hmm. Why is everyone so optimistic on the Vikings?
So I just gave them a 4.
I know. I'm more upset with Chris Theodore.
Well, you
Let's
just said
give him.
everyone.
I'm going to give him the 2. What is wrong with you people? I don't think the Vikings are going to be good. I think they're going to be terrible. You got Sam Darnold as your quarterback.
Whoa,
Sam
JJ
Darnold.
McCarthy.
I don't know. We'll see how JJ does, but it's like I think this is going to be a tire fire of a team. I don't think they have no shot at making the postseason. I honestly going to say it. I think they're going to go 4-13.
Whoa. Wow.
I mean, look at their. They're going to have a tough schedule. They're going to play against the Giants. Well, that could be beatable. 49ers, that's a loss. Texans, that's a loss. Packers, that's a loss. The Jets, that could be 50-50. I don't know. Lions, that's a loss. Rams, loss. Colts, that could be a toss-up. Jaguars is a toss-up. Titans, I think they can beat the Titans because I think the Titans are bad. Bears could be a toss-up. I think they can beat the Cardinals. Vikings, I think they can beat the Falcons. Oh, that's going to be an interesting one. Falcons versus
I'm
Vikings.
counting like 6 wins, like I said. That's what I'm saying.
I don't know. That's a lot of toss-ups. And then Seahawks, I think that might be a loss. Packers. And then
Seahawks, that should easily be a loss. Seahawks are going to be pretty good.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
I mean, we're going to be talking about them later on. Here we go.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. But like I said, I just do not feel confident with these Vikings. I just feel like I think they're going to be a dumpster fire.
Wow.
I don't think and you can call me a hater, you can call me all that, but
I mean, I don't care enough, Stu. You just show a consistent pattern of hatred against teams from Michigan, but that's okay.
How dare you?
That is what
How
it is.
dare you? How dare all of you? But anyway,
I mean, I bet the Lions are going to get like a soft 6 in your ranking just because they're from Detroit.
Yeah, I'm going to give them a 4 because that's the same. But anyway, next we got to talk about the Packers, who apparently, even after 30 years, apparently the Packers can still get a good quarterback with Jordan Love. And, I feel like it's like that Breaking Bad meme where it's like, they can't get away with this anymore. They can't get away with this. Why are they still good?
You know what I respect?
I wanted them to be bad.
I have something to respect here, though. Because, I mean, they got pretty ridiculed when they drafted him. And everybody made fun of them, but they stick to their guns. They develop quarterbacks. I don't think it's like this lucky thing. It's an organizational preference that they've been amazing at.
Yeah.
So. Like, other teams try it and they fail. Like the Patriots even tried it and they couldn't nail Tom Brady's successor down. Like a lot of teams try to replace a legend and they just simply can't. But they also can't like draft a guy, develop him, keep him happy, and time it as well as the Packers consistently have. So I say the opposite. I say respect.
Yeah, you know what? I still respect him, even though as a Cowboys fan, Packers have been traumatizing me for decades. Just saying.
Oh, I mean, 3 quarterbacks of just traumatization.
Yes.
Crazy.
Favre, Rodgers, and now Love. They have owned the Cowboys at AT&T Stadium. It's too much.
It seems like it's always at AT&T Stadium, and it's always a beatdown.
But anyway, so they basically.
Can I ask you guys a question? Do you guys think the Packers are going to be a better or worse team than the Vikings?
Oh, they're better.
Better than the Vikings, but about the same as the Bears, but at least to me.
Yeah, no. Why? I feel like they got a young core. They're looking good, but like I said, I digress. So we'll start with you, Theodore. What is your thoughts on the Packers? We're not.
So the Packers, I think they're going to be worse than the Vikings. I mean, I took the Vikings at 8 and 9. But I mean, looking at the Packers, they have Jordan Love. I know he's going to be pretty much he should be a good quarterback, but backup wise, just in case he gets injured, knock on wood, they have Sean Clifford out of Penn State, and then a gentleman named Michael Pratt. I don't think the Packers have anything going on. So that's why I'm going to say Packers go 6-11.
Okay.
And does that mean they'll probably be a 4?
Nice.
Wow. So you think they're going to be a 4?
Yeah, 4 at 6-11.
Wow, that's interesting.
I'm actually surprised on that one. I feel like I would not expect.
I'm not gonna lie. I'll go next. I think I'll kind of bridge the gap here, like I did the last one, because like I agree with some of your points. I'd be lying if I said I didn't. Like I think that they're the classic team that like got a fluky win and then all of a sudden everybody's kind of all in. Where like I think like yeah sure like they beat the Cowboys, but it was the Cowboys in the playoffs. But it was kind of like it's the same feeling you get when like the Florida Gators win a football like a playoff or a bowl game and everyone's like, oh my gosh, they're back. Like no, not. Like they won the Outback Bowl. Like let's not kid ourselves.
Yes.
And
The
so
Outback Bowl.
It's kind of like one of those bowls that you're like, yeah, I don't really want to be here, but like everyone's like, yeah, they won a bowl game. They're gonna make the playoff next year. Like no, they just beat whatever some MAC school in the Outback Bowl. Like come on, what are we saying here? But I do think that there's more to be excited about than Chris does, though. It sounds like. Like, I mean, Jordan Love's good. They have a good young receiving core. But, I mean, I think they're going to miss the playoffs. I think the Bears beat them.
Wow.
Give me 8 and 9 and 5.
Wow.
Ooh, this division, we all have different numbers. This is going to be interesting to see, for sure.
This is very
nice.
interesting.
It's very refreshing, yeah.
I feel like, okay, as someone that's been traumatized with the Packers for my whole entire life, I'm just saying, I hate the Packers with all my life. I hate you, Aaron Rodgers, for making me lose as a Cowboys fan. I feel like this Packers team is still good. They got a young core. They got Jordan Love is looking good. I don't know why is everyone still down on it, but
I mean, it's just most experts agree with you, Stu.
But,
I mean, yeah, they did pick up Josh Jacobs, who was a great running back in Vegas or Oakland, whatever you want to call them.
Oh, the Vegas Raiders, sorry. But I feel like they're I think they'll at least make the playoffs, so I gotta give them the 6. I think they're gonna I think they're gonna go at least. If I'm looking at the Packers, let me check. I'm looking at the Packers regular season. They got to play against the Eagles. That could be a toss-up. I think they could beat the Eagles in San Paulo.
I mean, is that game in Green Bay or is it in Philadelphia?
No, that's in Sao Paulo, Brazil.
Oh man.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, that'll be a toss-up.
Yeah, it's gonna be a toss-up. Then you got the Colts. That could be a toss-up, but I think they can win. They could beat the Titans. I think they're gonna beat the Vikings. Rams could be a toss-up. They're gonna beat the Cardinals. That could be a toss-up. Jaguars they can beat. Lions at Lambeau. That could be a toss-up. I think that could be a toss-up, to be fair. Because that's a tough environment for the Detroit. They have beat them at Lambeau, but that's a tough environment. I still say it's still a tough environment. Then I think they can beat the Bears at Bears because apparently Jordan Love likes to own the Bears, just like Aaron Rodgers does. They're probably going to lose to the 49ers. Dolphins, I think they're trending down. So I think they can beat the Dolphins at Packers. And then plus it's a northern team. So then it's the Lions. I think they might lose the Lions. I think they're going to split with the Lions. I think they'll beat the Seahawks. They'll beat the Saints. They'll beat the Vikings. And they beat the Packers. I mean, they beat the Bears.
They'll beat themselves.
They beat themselves to greatness. And I'm going 10-7. I think they're 10-7 right now.
I
Wow.
think me and you just basically flipped the Bears and Packers too.
Yeah. Like, I honestly still think the Packers are still in an elite division, or elite team. Don't count out the Packers.
I mean, I won't count them out, but I don't see them as elite, really. I see them as
Yeah.
they got
I mean,
hot at
yeah.
the right time last year.
The Packers always seem to squeak into the playoffs. So yeah, you're probably not wrong there, Stu.
Yeah, they always sneak in there. Even last year, I think we lowered them to a 3 at one point, and they still sneaked in and made it to the playoffs. The 7 seed, they still did good. Still traumatizes me. I don't want to deal with them. I don't want to deal with them. I'm sorry. But next, we got to talk about your team, Douglas. The Detroit Lions.
I'll say we're going to talk about the hopeful. I assume we all might agree on the division winner, Detroit Lions.
Yeah. So it's interesting right now, Douglas, and I could probably talk about the history of the Lions. They've been bad for a really long time.
You don't have to, so it's okay.
I
Talk
mean,
about this year. This is where the hater view for me comes in because there's no need.
But this is the craziest thing. It's been the last time since 1993 when the Lions made it to the NFC Championship. And if they continue to still be good and make it deeper in the playoffs, I hate to say, this Lions team might be the best since the 50s.
Sir, I don't mean to correct you. You said 1993 Lions made it to the NFC Championship. You're wrong.
Oh, was it 92?
They lost in the wild card to the Packers.
Yeah. And like I said, can this Lions team?
But you're right. You're right. Like 1993 was the last time the Lions won the division.
Yeah. Yes. I'm sorry. 92 was when they
besides last year.
Yeah. But I will tell you this: can this Lions team do what Barry Sanders could never do with the Lions team, because basically they just could never get a good core around him.
All right, still we can focus on the positive. Let's
all get on the positive. Well, like I said, this team is. I'm loving Dan Campbell. I'm loving this team.
There we go. Doesn't have to be about a history of failure when we're talking about this season.
Well, like I said, it's like when we talk about the Brownies, it's going to be like you got to talk about a little bit of the history of the failure, but like the success of restoring the roar of the Lions right now.
I mean, I guess, but I don't know. It felt like it was just unnecessarily negative on that. It's like, yeah, they'd be the best since the 50s. Like we get it, Stu. It's rare air. Let's be still.
All right. So, Douglas, you're the fan here. You're the Lions fan. How do you feel about the Lions, and what is your honest score on the Detroit Lions?
Oh, Stu, I got nothing but honesty for you. I mean, I'm trying to be non-biased here, okay? So this is my main objective. This is serious to me. But I think that they're the second best team in the NFC. I genuinely do. I think it's them or the 49ers. Like, I think that just the Lions have done such an unbelievable job of drafting that it's kind of scary to see that they've actually hit on draft picks for like 3 straight drafts. And when you can hit on this many draft picks in a row, then all of a sudden, like, everything gets easy because you got guys under contract, you got good, young, hungry guys. And you can actually keep this core together for a little bit too. Like, guys are still getting paid and stuff. They feel like 12-5-ish again, division champs. I'd say they're an 8. I think it's them versus the Niners again this year.
Wow.
But maybe this time at Ford Field and the Lions win it.
Oh my God. Are you, Douglas, if they play at Ford Field, are you going to buy tickets?
I mean, I would like to. Like, this last year would have been at Ford Field, I think, if that weird Cowboys game didn't happen. So it's like they're not far off. And like, you have Hutchinson, who's going to only be better. You got an amazing young skill core. They rehauled the whole secondary, which was like their biggest weakness last year. They got the best left tackle in football. There's really not a discernible weakness that I see on this team right now.
Yes. I still feel optimistic on the Lions right now.
Yeah, there it is.
I mean, as all of my, you might.
I mean, as we all should be feeling optimistic about the Lions.
I feel like this isn't 93. This isn't the Barry Sanders era where it's just like they had that peak and then plateaued down. I think they're still going to go into like great. I think they're still going to go up and away.
All right, yeah, that's it still.
Yeah, I still, that's the optimistic. Like, I definitely feel very optimistic. And I'm looking at their schedule. They got to play against the Rams. That could be a toss up, but I think they can beat them. Bucks, I think they can beat. They're going to beat the Cardinals. I think they beat the Seahawks. Cowboys is a toss up. Vikings is a win for the Lions. They can win against the Titans. Packers, it's still, I think they're probably going to split with the Packers. Texans could be a 50-50. I think they can beat the Jaguars. I think they can beat the Colts. I think they can beat the Bears. I think they can beat the Packers. They're split that. Bills, I think they're going down in stock. We're not talking about the Buffalo Bills, but I do think they can beat the Bills. They beat the Bears. 49ers is going to be a tough one because that's going to be at 49er Stadium. And then I think they can beat the Vikings. So, Douglas.
Yeah, I'm not sure how the Lions always draw all like their biggest games on the road. Like,
Yeah.
why do the Cowboys? Why do the Cowboys never come to Ford Field? Like, I feel like the Cowboys and Lions have played like 5 times. It's always in Dallas.
Yeah, because we need to have it in Dallas, baby. We need to have it.
Okay.
And I
That
am
way you
going to
can
put
pay
it
the
right
refs.
there.
There
Look
you
at that,
Jeremy. Pay
Douglas.
those refs.
We didn't pay those refs. I'm just saying. You didn't come in.
Like, that was atrocious, dude. Like, oh my gosh.
Uh-huh.
Like, dude, the dude walks up to him and says, I'm over here, I'm an eligible receiver. Like, and then the ref just acts like he didn't say it straight to his face. Just
But
brutal,
anyway,
man.
I digress. We should focus on the future, not the past. That's why I always joke.
Okay.
That's why I always say when the tuck rule is going to happen, Detroit will probably lose the game because of that, and people are going to be upset.
Oh, I mean, we should do an entire episode on rules that the Lions have lost because of. Like, we could have the Calvin Johnson catch, the Atlanta game, like the Cowboys game, like every single rule. That's the most unreal thing.
And that's why
if you want to talk about the history of the Lions, talk about the refs versus the Lions, not anything else.
I'm going to tell you that. That's what my prediction is. Somehow we're going to do a prediction, and we're recording this. The tuck rule will cost the Lions a football game.
The one in Dallas, dude. There you go. We just predicted the future.
Yes! But anyway, Chris, what is your thoughts about the Lions right now?
So you guys are both saying they're going to make it to the NFC Championship game. What'd you guys say, Stuart? What'd you say record-wise?
I gave them both 12-5. Also, last season we gave the Lions an 8. We gave the Packers a 7. Sorry, we forgot about that. So, like I said, we are continuing. So,
Stuart, you said 12-5. Doug, would you say 12-5 as well?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean it's not hard. It's not hard to disagree with you guys because I feel like they're going to do exactly what they did last year. They have Jahmyr Gibbs. They have Sam Laporta, Jared Goff throwing the TD passes.
Who got paid?
Rushes.
Who got paid? Just remind you that Goff, and I will always say it, and I will always give them a positive. Let's put one more positive on the Lions. I'll tell you this: Goff did something that Stafford never did in Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
Never won the NFC. Never won a playoff game in Detroit. Never won. Never got an NFC. Never became number.
Dude, there's a reason that they're chanting Jericho.
Jericho. I'm just saying.
At the NFL draft, man, like it was hype. Like they were so like Detroit loves Goff.
Detroit loves Goff, and it's so interesting. So anyway, back to what I was saying.
So honestly, I would go. I think it's 8s across the board. I'd give them an 8. They're gonna make it to the NFC Championship game. Record-wise, probably the same as you guys. Yeah, 12-5. I don't see why they would disappoint us in not going 12-5. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this is gonna be interesting. Like I said, I'm hoping, and I've said this. Please, football gods, let Detroit be good. Give Detroit something good. Don't. This fan base has been tortured long enough.
Well, on that note, still we're at 34, and we still got a whole nother division. We got to speed this next division up.
All right, next one. We got the Arizona Cardinals, who've been so mid. Yeah, you got Kyler Murray got hurt for like at least last season. They got for most of the thing. You got Joshua Dobbs was the backup, but they still couldn't do well. They were still pretty mid. I don't. They did pay Kyler Murray with that contract. I just do not feel still confident with the Cardinals.
Did they give Kyler Murray a contract?
Yeah, they gave him a contract last season. They paid him.
Yeah,
Maybe a
before
little.
he got hurt. Like,
Oh, really?
Not this season, but last year.
Yeah, so
Gotcha.
I just don't feel confident with the Cardinals. Still don't feel confident.
I mean, they were 4-13 last year. Do you think they're going to be better or worse than that, or about the same?
I think they're going to be about the same. I mean, as long as Kyler Murray doesn't get hurt, I think they could do a little bit better. But this team ain't going to make the postseason. This team's not going to make the playoffs. If I'm looking at the regular season for the Cardinals, they got to play against Buffalo. That could be a toss-up. They're going to lose against the Rams, lose against the Lions. Commanders is a toss-up. They'll lose against the 49ers, lose against the Packers. I think they'll lose against the Chargers. They'll lose against, I think the Dolphins could be a toss-up. The Bears is a toss-up. The Jets is a toss-up. Seahawks is a loss. Vikings is a toss-up. Seahawks is a loss again. They'll beat the Patriots. And
Dude, can I make a suggestion here? Can I make a suggestion? For the sake of time and my sanity. Can we? I feel like the game by game is tough. Like I like the process, but that's a lot. The process, because you went so fast. I don't know who you're saying they're going to beat and who you're saying. So what's your guess on the record?
Yeah, you named a bunch of losses right in a row, and I respect it because the teams are saying that they're going to play. Yeah, those are just, tough games for sure.
They got a tough schedule.
I'm
going to go 4-13. I don't think there's
again.
You don't think Marvin Harrison helps him out?
Yeah, no. I was about to bring that up. Marvin Harrison.
I know Marvin Harrison is back, but it's just I just don't feel confident with the Cardinals. I think they're gonna be mid. I think they're just gonna be beat up on bad teams, and that's it. Honestly, I'm gonna switch it and give them the 2.
Ooh. And 2 is what based on the definition?
They're gonna be. Probably going to be. They're not getting that number 1 or number 2, but they're going to be 3, 4, and 5.
Oh, I see. Gotcha.
Yeah, I think we might be seeing the end of Kyler Murray as a QB. I'm just saying for the Cardinals once that contract's done.
Wow, Doug, what are you thinking?
I'm really enjoying this episode because this is last time. I feel like we all just said the same thing and it's kind of dull. This time I'm surprised. I like it. Pleasant surprise. I feel like the Cardinals are one of those nice teams that I'm okay, they're not gonna make the playoffs yet, but I think Kyler was out last year, and I think he'll come back a little bit healthier, more focused. You got some new weapons for him, so he doesn't have to just sit there and run all day long. He's got a nice cast. I was thinking a 7 and 10 and a 4.
Okay, so 7 and 10, and you give him the 4. Wow, you got to give him the 4. Alrighty, Chris. What do you think about?
Sorry, Stu. What's a 4? What's a 4, real quick?
They're mid. They're a mid team, but they're not close to that playoff spot.
They're not close to getting to the playoffs. Gotcha. 5 would be close to getting to the playoffs, but not making it. I see. Gotcha. Man, yeah. I mean, it for me. How is Marvin Harrison going to really make that big of an impact for the Cardinals? That's going to be interesting to see if that really happens, or what's going to be going on with that. Because running back wise,
yeah,
they have James Conner, who's in his 8th season. They don't have much of a running back, but don't they have that really good? Yeah, Trey McBride, the tight end. Oh man. And all right, they finished 4-13 last season. I have a feeling they'll finish 6-11 record wise.
Okay.
Number wise, a 3.
Yeah. So
actually, no. I would say at 6-11, give them a 4 because 4 is not being in contention. 5 is being in contention for the playoffs.
4 is basically.
4 is being a step below.
And then 3, I would say, is you're just beating up on bad teams, but you're just.
That's what I'm saying. 4, Arizona, they have young talent. Maybe, possibly, they could possibly make the playoffs next season, but not this season. So I feel like they'll be in the fight for it, but 6-11, unfortunately, because they play the 49ers twice, they play the Seahawks twice.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough one. That's going to be a tough spot for them right over there. And then next, we got to talk about them Seahawks, the post Pete Carroll edition, because now, like I said, they barely made it out of. They barely got eliminated. They didn't make it to the playoffs this season. They got eliminated towards the end. Pete Carroll is gone. Nobody. We got a new coach, a new organization right now for the Seahawks.
Oh, you know who that new coach is, too?
This is going to be an interesting. What?
Did you guys know who that new coach is?
Yeah, actually, I'll look it up. I think it's like a new.
It's a young Mike McDonald, who was the Michigan Wolverines defensive coordinator 2 years ago.
Oh.
And then John Harbaugh's defensive coordinator last year. So he's a Harbaugh brother descendant.
So this is gonna be interesting. And so I guess we'll start. Yeah. Oh, Mike McDaniel. Oh yeah. I remember. Wasn't he a coach at one point? Somebody, other team, if I remember.
I think this is his first head coach, but he's really gone up the ranks quick and is a brilliant defensive guy.
Yeah. So it is going to be interesting. So we're going to start with, I guess, Chris, you're going to go first right here. How do you feel about the Seattle Seahawks right now?
Seattle Seahawks, they finished 9-8 last year, record-wise. Did not make the playoffs. But looking at the roster, for some reason my screen just turned off. But the roster they had, oh, there we go. Geno Smith is their starting, or they're giving me the starting quarterback. Running back wise, they have Kenneth Walker, and Kenneth Walker's. I feel like he's a good running back for sure. So they were 9-8 last year, and they did not make the playoffs. I think the Seattle Seahawks are going to make the playoffs this year. Same record, 9-8. So it's 6.
Oh, you think they're going to make the postseason?
I do believe so. Yeah.
Oh, that's going to be an interesting one for the Seahawks right there. So this is going to be an interesting one because I feel like this one's going to be a tough one, a toughie, because I'm like, I don't think they really did anything in the postseason as of right now. They didn't really do any things that were different. So 9-8. I think they're going to probably be in that football middle. They're in that football hell. I'm thinking they're going to be in a 5. I'm still thinking 9-8, but I think they're not going to make the postseason.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, wasn't football hell number 4?
No, football hell is 5. Football hell is 5. 4 is just your mid. It's like a tad below that.
Yeah, I think football hell is like those teams that just miss it. So then you're kind of like, you don't make the playoffs.
Oh, like you're like, oh, we should have been there, but we're going through hell because we didn't make the playoffs. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So what'd you say record-wise?
I said 9-8. I said 9-8, but I don't think they'll make the postseason.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
I honestly, I'm a little bit more down on this team than either of you are, it seems. I'm not really very excited about them. Like, I think anytime coaching change, like, I like Mike McDonald, but I'm more like around that 7 and 10 and like a 4 to a 5.
Okay, so you're going to put them at the 4
Wait,
right
was
now.
it 4 or 5? Which one are you going to pick here?
We'll go with a 4. Like, I just think that the Rams will be better than them. I think the 49ers are better than them. I just don't see a lot of, like, I think that even them and the Cardinals are closer than people think too, personally. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't get super excited when I think about that team.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Like I said, I do feel like, I don't know. I kind of do agree with Doug. I think this is going to be a mid team. I don't think they're going to make the postseason. I think the Packers will probably make the postseason, but I'm not putting the Seahawks in there. And speaking of team that was a surprise that did make the postseason last year, the Rammies, who basically nobody had an expectation of them. Oh yeah, I should say Seahawks were a 5. The Rams actually got a good 6 at the end of the season. They actually made it to the postseason, but Unfortunately, the Detroit Lions decided to have their finally first playoff victory against the Rammies, against Stafford. So, yes, a cool story in that sense. Like, it's been an interesting journey for the Rams in the Stafford era, where they won the Super Bowl, pretty much traded everything for that Super Bowl. Nobody expected them to make it the postseason, and they did a lot better than what people expected. So we're going to start with, I guess I'll go first right over here. This is going to be an interesting one for the Rams because it's like they did lose Aaron Donald. He's gone now. He is going the great sky of retirement, and now get his gold jacket in Canton.
Great
Honestly,
it's great.
Yes. But, and I also say it, number 2, get that man a gold jacket right now. I don't care. It has to be 5 years. Him and Brady, just give him the jacket. Like, he didn't even, like I said, he wasn't even like declining. That's impressive.
Yeah, I mean, he probably could have played another 4 or 5 years at a very high level.
Yeah. So I feel very still confident, but they did lose Aaron Donald. I feel like this team is going to be interesting. So we're going to look at the record real quick. I mean, what they're going to play. Lions, I think that could be a loss. Cardinals is a win. Yeah, they got to play against the 49ers. I think that's going to be a loss. Bears, I think they can beat the Bears. Packers is a toss-up. I think they can beat the Raiders. They got to play against the Vikings. I think they can beat the Vikings. Seahawks is kind of a toss-up, but I think I'm leaning more towards the Seahawks versus like them. The Dolphins, I think the Dolphins are going to look a lot bad. Then they play against the Patriots, which that's going to be an easy win. The Eagles, I think that's a toss-up. I think they can beat the Saints. Bills, I think they're going to beat the Bills. 49ers, that could be a lot. I think they will lose 2 games against the 49ers.
So what are you saying, Sue, record-wise? How are you feeling?
I'm feeling a 5 for this team. And I'm thinking 8 and 9. That's what I'm feeling right now.
Don't hate it.
Yeah. So I guess we'll start with you, Chris.
Well, Stuart, you started yourself, so you got it. So you said 5, 8, 9. Gotcha.
Yeah. So Chris, you're up. What is your thoughts about these Rammies?
So I had the Seahawks making the playoffs. I put them at a 6. I think I put them at 9 and 8. So that means I have the Rams going to be missing the playoffs because I think we all might have the 49ers winning the NFC West.
Yes.
Correct me if I'm wrong in that statement, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
Yes, and that's the final one.
So Rams, they made the playoffs last year, but I said Seahawks are going to make the playoffs at 9 and 8. So Rams are going to go 7 and 10.
Oh.
And so 7 and 10, yeah, because 5 is like you're right there making the playoffs. Rams, who's their quarterback? Let's take a look real quick.
It's Stafford and Garoppolo's backup.
Yeah, Matt Stafford, 16 years in the league. Stetson Bennett, he's a second year. They got Jimmy Garoppolo. Yeah. So Rams, what I say, 7 and 10, and they're going to be, I would say a 4, because Rams, they've been good, consistently, but I don't think I could really ever put the Rams as a 3 for the outlook going forward.
Oh, I mean, last year they were the year before that in 2023 they were pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie, they were like bottom 10 worst team, but.
All right, Doug, what are you feeling for these Los Angeles Rams here?
Are they going to ram it to victory?
If you can't dodge it, ram
Yeah.
it. I like them. I mean, I was just in my head going through the teams that I think that are playoff teams, and because I'm getting right around that border but I think that there's going to be 2 from the north, 2 from the east, 2 from the west, and 1 from the south because there's 7 teams, correct?
Yeah,
Yes.
you can't have 2 teams from the South.
Exactly. You can't. And I mean, I was already down on the Seahawks. And I think the Rams are that team. Very like they kind of sneak in. Like I think they might be 9-8 with a 6. Like they lose
Ooh.
Donald. Like
Wow.
losing Donald is going to be huge. But I mean, you still got Stafford. You got this guy Blake Corum. That's pretty good. Not that he's gonna play a lot, but I mean, you got Cooper Kupp and Puka Nakua. So I mean, like that wide receiver combo. They got good running backs. Sean McVay's an elite coach. Like losing Aaron Donald maybe steps them back like a game from last year, but
I mean, as long as Kyrie Williams doesn't get hurt, if he does get hurt, knock on wood, obviously, then Blake Corum can see some time. Because I feel like Blake Corum would be the second back for the Rams.
I would imagine so, and I just see them as a team that like Sean McVay just kind of is one of those coaches that knows how to make the playoffs. And I just see like Stafford. This might be his last year or two. So I don't see Stafford going out like at the bottom of the division. I see maybe another deep playoff run or 2 and then a retirement.
Ooh, all right.
All right, so this is gonna be interesting.
Wait. So, Doug, did you say the record?
9-8.
Yeah, 9-8 and a 6.
9-8. Okay, gotcha. Nice.
There'll be a postseason part 2 for the Rams.
So Doug's confident the Rams are going to make the playoffs. All right.
All right, we'll see it. And then finally, look at this, gentlemen. We will talk about the final team that made it, that was the bridesmaid, but was never the bride for the 3rd time in the last decades. They were not the 3rd time's the charm. So interestingly, this is going to be an interesting team. So the 49ers have been basically so close, but they still can't do it. And then basically happens afterwards. They kind of have a plateau of decline afterwards. Granted, they have a good year. They went all in. But I always going to say this. This is their Super Bowl or bust. They don't make the Super Bowl this year. This is a bust. And I think there's going to be a huge decline right now. They got a lot of contracts that basically, they got to pay a lot of people at this point.
Yeah, that's the spot I know the Lions will eventually get. So hopefully they can win now too.
Yeah. So we're going to start with you, Christopher. What is your thoughts on the 49ers?
I mean, we said the Lions are going to be, we put them at an 8 because it's probably going to be more than likely the Lions versus the 49ers again. I don't see any other team competing as well as the 49ers. So, yeah, 49ers put them as an 8. Yeah, offensively and defensively, they just have a solid team overall. Record-wise, they were 12-5 last year. Let's see here if I can see anything. Ooh, are they going to make it to the Super Bowl? I mean, I'm not going to put them as a 9 because 9's going to the Super Bowl. So, yeah, 8 right now. But record-wise, they were 12-5 last year. I'd say 13-4.
Ooh.
They're going to be that elite of a team that you don't really want to play, don't really want to mess with. So, 13-4.
All right. Like I said, that's going to be an interesting pick right there. Chris. Now it's time for you, Douglas. What is your thoughts on the San Francisco 49ers?
I like a lot of what you both are saying here. I think that they kind of start to take a step back though this year. I mean, I think it's one of those things where it's going to sound silly, but like I think they kind of struggled in the playoffs last year. I mean, granted they were still up in the Super Bowl, but I mean they should have lost probably to the Lions. They're down 17. They should have lost to the Packers. I think the teams kind of figured them out a little bit in the playoffs. And like, I don't know. And then like if Brandon Ayuk leaves and like all these other things, and it's like, will you get a healthy?
Oh yeah, we forgot about the Brandon Ayuk was going to get traded, and then he refused to trade it to go to the Patriots, and now he's back at the 49ers.
Exactly. So like, there's a whole mess going on there. You got kind of just a lot of, I don't know, like, will you get McCaffrey back-to-back full seasons? And, like, there's just a lot. Like, is Brock Purdy finally going to show that going from game manager to like more of an elite quarterback. Like, I don't know. I feel like people are just like giving them the trophy, but I'm like, I see them as still one of the two best teams. But I think they'll be, I don't know. I mean, all that said, I still think they're going to be great. Still give them an 8, but I'm going to go with an 11-6.
Wow.
All right, nice.
I think the Lions get home field advantage this year.
This is going to be interesting. So you think the Lions will basically get that number 1 spot. Now, I feel like, yeah, this is going to be interesting. So I do kind of agree with you, gentlemen. I don't feel as confident that this team is going to guarantee to go to the Super Bowl right now. Unlike when we get to later on, spoiler, when we get to the Kansas City Chiefs. But like I said, that's going to be the last team we talk about. They still got everything. I mean, granted, you have the Alvin Kamara fiasco that's happening a little bit. I still feel confident with these 49ers. They're looking really good.
See, Alvin Kamara, he plays for the Saints, but nonetheless, keep going, Stu.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The Brandon Ayuk. Sorry, the trade.
Brandon Ayuk. I gotcha.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I misspoke on that one. The Brandon Ayuk debacle where you try to go where they try to send the Patriots, and then he was like, no. That is and he just said, maybe tomorrow to that one. Maybe tomorrow. So I'm going, I feel stoked. And if I'm looking at the regular season, they got to play against the Jets. That's going to be an interesting one. Monday Night Football game. I think they can beat the Jets. I think they can beat the Vikings. Then they got to play against the Rams. That could be a toss-up, but I do think that the 49ers are going to win, even at Rams Stadium. They're definitely going to beat the Patriots. Definitely going to beat the Cardinals. Definitely going to beat the Seahawks. Chiefs, that's going to be a toss-up.
Ooh, rematch the Super Bowl.
Rematch against the Cowboys at 49er Stadium again. That might be, yeah. I think
it's going to be a win.
It's going to be a win. It's going to be a win. Buccaneers, that's a win. Seahawks is a win. Packers could be a toss-up. I think they could easily beat the Bills. I think they're easily going to beat the Bears.
So how many wins are you saying they're going to get to? What do you think here?
They're going to beat.
Because Doug said 11, I said 13. What are you feeling?
I'm thinking we're still going to give them the 8. I'm going to give them that bold 8 right over there. And I'm still thinking, I think they're going to get a bye in the postseason. So I'm going to go 13-4.
Ooh, all right. So
I think
I'll answer this question, but Doug already answered it. Doug said the Lions are going to be the 1 seed in the NFC. So Stuart, based off of that, I'm saying 49ers being 13-4, they're going to be the 1 seed. Stu, who do you think is going to be the 1 seed? Because we're all saying it's going to be the Lions and the 49ers again.
I think it's going to be the 49ers again.
That's the 1 seed? Gotcha.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, it's kind of annoying that I think that both the Lions and the Cowboys have to play at San Francisco again. It's like, what the heck? Why don't they ever, do they have any tough road games? Like, I feel like they always good,
even the Chiefs game is at home, so that's going to be a tough one, but still.
It's like, man, your 3 hardest games, you get all at home. Like,
golly,
it seems like they finally win one.
I think the tough one that they do have is at home is against the Packers.
Oof.
I think that's going to be a tough one. I think that's a tough one because that's at Lambeau Field and that's cold. So, but look at that, gentlemen. We got less than an hour. We did it. We complete objective complete. Less than 1 hour. We got the podcast done.
Sure. What divisions are we going to talk about next week?
Ooh, thank you for getting that because I got my cell phone right over here, and we are going to talk about 2 other. We're gonna skip to the NFC. So bye NFC. And it's time.
No, you weren't skipping to the AFC. You got.
We're going to AFC, and we're going to start with the AFC East and the AFC South. So we're going to start out with the mightiest of dynasties, the New England Patriots, who we all feel sad that they're terrible, that they're having a rough week. Said no one ever, unless you're a Patriots fan. But I don't feel sorry for you guys. Sorry. And we're going to start out with the Patriots, then the JETX, Jets, Miami Dolphins, Buffalo Bills. Then we're gonna start with the Titans, the Indianapolis Colts, Jacksonville Jaguars, and we ended up with the Houston Texans and CJ Stroud.
Nice.
Oh, wow,
So-
look at that. Right on the hour dots, too. That's unbelievable.
And look at that, gentlemen. We got this all done. We got this podcast done. And like I said, everyone, I'm going to see you later because take care. See ya.